This lecture is intended for fourth-year classes and it's about the novel Sons and Lovers by D.H. Lawrence, Chapter 1. It is presented by Dr. Haifam Muhammad Sharif. Now, the first thing we are going to talk now about is Chapter 1 and the main points we are going to discuss in this chapter, which is entitled The Early the early married life of the Morals. We are going to talk about the setting of the novel. This is the first point. The second point, we are going to talk about the main characters. And the third point is that we are going to talk about the main events in this chapter, of course. Now, the setting of the novel is the coal mining village of Bestwood in Nottinghamshire in England's of course countryside in late 19th century. The chapter begins with a description of the neighborhood of the Bottoms, which is the miners' dwellings in which the Morals live. Now, the main characters are we are going to talk about the main characters. The Moral family consists of, at this point, Mrs. Moral's husband is a miner. Mrs. Moral, she is 32 years old, and she is 31 years old, and she is married for 8 years. She is pregnant with her third child, whom she does not want because she has fallen out of love with her husband and the family is poor. And also we have William. He is the son of Mr. and Mrs. Moral. He is aged 7. And we have Annie. She is aged 5. Now we are going to talk about the main events in the novel and of course in this chapter. In this chapter we have two main events, two key events occur in this chapter. The first is when Walter Moral cuts his son's hair while his wife is sleeping. This is one of the major factors in her estrangement from her husband, because Mrs. Moral, she views this as a betrayal. Now the second, of course, event is when Mr. Moral comes home drunk and he has a fight with his wife and he looks her outside in his anger and then falls asleep at the kitchen table. After an hour of knocking at the door, Mr. Moral wakes and he lets his wife in. Of course, these two events are very important because the first event is going to tell us about the attachment between Mrs. Moral and her son William, and how she does not want anybody, especially her husband, to touch him. And this is the first sign of the Oedipus complex theme, and psychological theory. The second one is about Mrs. Moral and her fight with her husband and how she spends much time outside her house. And here we are going to talk about the flower symbolism and how the lilies are going to contribute in making her less angry and happy despite her fight with her husband. Now this is the end of our lecture. I hope you benefit from this lecture.